Hello everyone, my name is Chris Montero and I want to share with you my experience through the Certified Internship Program through the Office of Admissions. A little bit of background, I work in diversity and inclusion in a cultural resource center called Centro Hispano. We have been working with admissions in the past. As you can see, this is their website and it is in Spanish, so they have a Spanish tab. That's as much as we've done in the past. We never really had really enough time to communicate as frequently as we now do since I started my CIP this semester. So one of the main things for us is that with our Cultural Resource Center, thanks to admission, we're able to expand our reach and really promote Centro in a different light within our community. This is an article that came out with when Centro Hispano was invited to the White House. And honestly, without the support of the Office of Admissions, we wouldn't even make it to Washington, D.C. So that's something that I want to be very clear about is really has been a great experience for both units. So moving on, my learning objectives. The first one was really to understand the daily operations of the Office of Admissions, really have a 360 view of not just the organization, like as the organizational chart and how it works, but also delve myself into comparing UNCW with other universities. So as you can see here, this is a site called UVisit. It's a virtual tour for UNCW. So I had an opportunity to compare UNCW to NC State, to Charlotte, to our competitors really, and having the time to analyze how are they touring campus, how is their virtual tour looking, how is their website different, how are their recruitment tactics. So I enrolled into 5 different institutions so I could get the experience as a fresh undergrad coming in and understanding how the marketing and communication plan worked. So once I grasped an idea of how the Office of Admissions markets itself, I had to then think about our population because my mission was to increase the number of Latinos and Hispanics that attend this university, including other minorities. So how do you do that? Do you communicate in Spanish, in English? Do you reach to their parents? Do you look at the most dense high schools? So I took a step back and this is a sample flyer that we created. We created a ton of new programming. This is called Camino a la Universidad, the road to university. As you can see, on the left side is in Spanish, on the right side is in English. This is how we decided that we were going to operate as far as communicating with our Latino community. This is one of the first programs, Road to the University. We had a great turnout. We had 14 families the first time. So it is the first time that UNCW is hosting a college information session in Spanish. So very exciting work and very proud of what we've accomplished. And of course, understanding the marketing behind that. So this was a video that we incorporated into the virtual tour. So we realized that as we're touring the Fisher University Union, like virtually, there was really a lack of information about our cultural center, about Centro Hispano. So right now we added the video. So those are the little things that I was able to do. It's kind of looking at how they're marketing our center, how they're marketing diversity, and how does that look from the outside looking in. So I was able to provide some critical feedback to the webmasters and to the Office of Admissions Director and Assistant Director, and it was a very interesting dynamic as we worked through the internship process. So more learning objectives, really understanding that it's not about my story, it's not about the story of our director, it's really about the story of our students and how they feel represented and included in UNCW. So that's one of the main goals for my internship is understanding that who our audience is, high school students. So what do they want to know about? They probably want to know about other successful Latinos, like the people pictured in this video, and we created individual stories for these students that either have graduated or will graduate in the near future. So that's something that definitely was great. And the last learning objectives is understanding the database, the UPS system, the reporting process. This is a system that we use to kind of track the people that were coming to our sessions, what schools they were from. And I labeled this slide synchronous work because we are um, we do share a lot of common ground. We do have great chemistry. So these are a few campus tours that we implemented. So part of the new programming that became available this semester, which is a campus tour in Spanish. Now, it's not rocket science, but no one does this. So we are the first institution in the state, and by the way, also the only institution in the whole UNC system that has a cultural center for Hispanics. So in a way, we're pioneers in many ways, and that comes with a huge responsibility. So trying to implement things with my internship opportunity that catered to the Latino community in their native language. So campus tours was an example. This is one of the campus tours, one of the two or three, I'm kind of losing count, that we held this semester. So this is, the Office of Admissions doing their thing, of course, supported by our students, Centro Hispano. So we grabbed their programming, like the Future Seahawks hashtag, and we kind of implemented it within our own community. So this was another college information session held on campus, and that's a potential future student. And in the bottom picture, you see a panel of students sharing their UNCW experience with parents in the audience. So we're definitely flipping it into a more progressive session, very unstructured, that really resonates with the Latino community, where they could ask questions, where they could learn from first accounts of other Latino students who have that are going through similar experiences. So we found that formula really does help. This is another young lady, Jennifer Gomez. So I titled this "Reciprocal Relationship" because it really is a give and take. Like it's not like an eye for an eye. It's more like they help us. So we host a program in school where we bring 36 Latino students, part of the Mi Casa mentoring program. Office of Admissions comes in. So they hand out all kinds of goodies, bags. Marcio Moreno is speaking. He's Latino. He's the director. He's the only Latino director in the state in the Office of Admissions. So there's a lot of personalized, customized, not just support, but very, very unique, the kind of work that we're producing. So he helps us out, but then we're going to talk to his student ambassadors and the SAN members and the transfer teal guides to train them on our diversity and inclusion offices, so that when they tour campus, they not yet just know what to say, but they also have an inside scoop. So this is a fantastic group of students. Whenever Seahawk Preview Day comes through, we're providing interpreters, we're providing people who are able to work events like Seahawk Saturday, which is a huge event for the Office of Admissions. Over 2,000 potential students come to campus. So all the Latino families that are there, how do they communicate? The children and students know, but not the parents. So this is where it's reciprocal. This is where we also help them achieve their goals. So some of the success, they established a program called College Bound, where we have some input and also an opportunity to reach out to rural areas and underrepresented students in counties like Pender, for example, in Pender High School. The success story is that, we have tours in Spanish. We have the Office of Admissions who is now offering a service in Spanish. So for whoever needs it, basically it's our office, Centro Hispano, at UNCW, who provides for the translators or the interpretation or whatever work needs to be done in Spanish. But in a way, it's an extension of the Office of Admissions. So I think that that's a huge success when you have that kind of synergy, and you could rely on each other. So here's some more pictures. And a great success story for me is how the Office of Admissions really engaged with our Upperman African American Cultural Center. Because of our relationship and how we established this great connection, it's like, well, how about the African Americans? Why is enrollment so low? So that kind of opened up another communication line to continue our mission, turning our campus into a more inclusive environment. A challenge that I encountered was, my gosh, recruiting events. The Office of Admissions gets so many invitations for Latino days, cultural celebrations, Hispanic Heritage, this, a bunch of, just an array of events. And of course, at the beginning of my internship, I said, yes, I could do it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Little did I know, which I should have known, is that we get really busy. So as I get busy, now I have to decline. Now I can't go. Now I have priorities within my department in my unit that become a challenge. So that was one of the challenges, is learning how to say no, and that is a skill, a really important skill. As far as a career path, I feel like this CIP gave me a competitive advantage to not just mentor students one on one, but also to reach, to other different high schools. I was honored to be Clinton's high school speaker at graduation, and if it wasn't for the Office of Admissions, of me being able to touch base with so many students, whenever we have students on campus, those are 3 different days, 3 different set of students, an amazing group of people. So that's definitely a plus. Have their support where I could go to camps like Camp Rockfish, and they're paying for my gas and for some of my travel. And I'm spending 3 days with all these young kids and really making sure that UNCW is on their map. And this was academy for a whole week in NC State. So having the opportunity to spend the time with Yadkin County students, that was really amazing. And then, of course, without them, we wouldn't be making headlines. And this is a slide that I end with. I know that this presentation was very fast, but overall, it's been a great experience. I felt overwhelmed at first initially, because the world of admissions is so complex. Admissions are really behind the rankings and the ratings that we get as a university. They face a lot of pressure in bringing in not just minorities but international students, and budget could be an issue. They're required to do so many things. That's why they have such a large team. But being able to cater to our Latino community, not just in their language but with their culture, that's something that's been very beneficial to us. And we've doubled the Latino population in our school over the past 4 years. Now, this didn't happen by chance. It's really happened because our Office of Admissions is really dedicated to increasing diversity, and this relationship only solidified a little more. We're able to strengthen our relationship. So our foundation is our familia. I think that through the Office of Admissions, we're able to extend our reach and reach other counties and other areas, where students are beginning to understand that when you come to UNCW, you just don't get a great 4 year education, but you have a cultural center that has your back, a cultural center that embraces who you are, where you see all the flags. And if you look at their T-shirts, you have Ghana, you have Israel, Iran, all the way to the left. In essence, they're not just Latino students. It's a family. It's a way to outreach to a younger community, to play soccer with them, to do the things that are within their culture, ingrained in who they are, in their identity, and taking that concept and really using it to recruit, but to recruit in a very organic way with the best intentions. So we're not necessarily selling you familia or familismo. We are providing a safe place for other Latinos to come to campus and feel like they have other students with similar goals that have their back, that whenever Hispanic Heritage Month comes around, there's a full band playing salsa, and there's a rainbow of people of all colors and cultures embracing our culture. So that's why we've been so successful. So thank you again for listening to my CIP experience. I hope to hear you guys out in the near future. Have a great Thanksgiving, y'all. Bye bye.